This is an example of skill number 5. This is a system of inequalities. Inequalities, you know, the little alligator mouths, right? Greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, those type of signs. And anytime you see those, you remember, oh, there's going to be a whole lot of solutions. That's why we shade. And I also have to pay attention to if it's a solid line or a dotted line. And then, if that's not enough, remember, if you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative, you have to remember to switch the sign or flip the sign. So, a whole lot to remember. We're going to graph these lines, but it's not in slope-intercept form. So I think the first thing I would do is to put it into slope-intercept form. And what that means is to solve it for y. So we'll subtract our 3x from both sides. I've got my positive 2y is less than or equal to my negative 3x plus my 6. And finally, I'm going to divide everything by positive 2, so I don't have to flip the sign. I will have y is less than or equal to negative 3 halves x plus 3. Okay. Now that's going to be a straight line, and it's going to be going downhill because it has a negative slope. I'm going to start right here at the y-intercept of positive 3, so it intercepts the y-axis at positive 3. And then I'm going to work my slope down 3 over 2. So from that point down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2, stop. 1, 2, 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3 over 2, and keep on going all the way off. Okay. You can also go up 3, 1, 2, 3, but backwards 2. 1, 2, 3, oopsie, backwards 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, backwards 2. Okay. Now, before you get going too fast, you have to pay attention. Hey, is it solid or dotted? And because there's an equal to, it's a solid line. Some of my kids said once, if it's a line, if there's a line, it's a solid line. Kind of like that idea. All right, let me fix that so that it goes all the way through. Nice solid line. And don't forget, there should be an arrow on both ends. Okay, there we go. It goes on to forever. We have to shade, but don't get crazy yet. Just want to give ourselves a little bit of clue. Right here, y is less than. You're going to shade below the line eventually. Remember, what we're shading are the final answers, and so we have to graph 2 of them first. All right, let's go ahead and get this next one into slope-intercept form. So x minus the 2y is greater than or equal to 4. In order to solve for y, I'm going to subtract my x over. I have negative 2y is greater than or equal to negative 1x. You can put a 1 there if you want, you don't have to. And then I'm going to solve for y by dividing everything by negative 2. And remember, when you divide by a negative, you have to switch the direction of the sign. So this was pointed to the right, you need to point it to the left. A negative 1 divided by a negative 2 is a positive 1/2 x. And a positive 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. We are ready to graph that. Okay. Has a y-intercept at negative 2. So you're going to start at negative 2. And it's a positive slope, so it should be going uphill. You're going to rise 1 and run 2. Up 1 over 2, stop. Up 1 over 2, and keep on going. Take your slope all the way off. Or you can go down 1 and back 2, down and back. Again, this is an equal to, or it's going to be a solid line. Going uphill, positive slope. Arrows on the ends. And y is less than. So you're going to shade below that line. So what we have for our final answers, there's a whole bunch of them. So we're going to shade. All right, let me get my highlighter out. Okay, we've got to shade below the top line with the red arrows and below the other line, right here, all in here. There's so many of them. We're just going to color them all in, right? So many. And if you wanted to check a point, you choose a point that's in that region and plug it back into your original ones and make sure it checks out in both.